Imagine this. You're holding a piece of raw, fragile earth. Now picture yourself transforming that very earth into a vessel. Something strong enough to hold water, cook food, or even last for centuries. And you do it all with just the power of fire. No fancy machines, no modern kilns, just you, some ancient know-how, and glowing embers of a carefully built blaze. Today, we're going to unlock that incredible primal skill. I'm Will from Willow's Southwest Studio, where we explore ancient skills, primitive pottery, and the raw beauty of survival craftsmanship in the Southwest. A lot of folks think that making durable pottery is impossible unless you got access to an expensive, high-tech kiln. But guess what? For thousands of years, our ancestors did exactly that. They created beautiful, functional ceramics with nothing more than clay, wood, and fire. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a seriously practical survival skill. This guide is going to show you step by step how to tap into that ancient technique, turning simple clay into hardened pottery anywhere you can build a fire. Over the next few minutes, you'll find out how to pick and prepare your clay, the secrets to digging an effective firing pit, and how to preheat your creations so they don't end up in pieces. We'll also cover the art of building a fire that can reach a whopping 750 to 800 degrees Celsius. And finally, the super important cooling process before you get to reveal your own fire-hardened pots. Before we even whisper the word fire, success really starts with your materials. You'll need clay, obviously. Wild clay can work. You'll also need some temper for the clay. I'd recommend mixing in about 20% sand, or even better, something called grog. Grog is just crushed up, already fired pottery, and it'll dramatically improve your clay's strength and seriously cut down on the chances of it cracking when you fire it. If you're interested in finding a ready-to-use clay right from nature, be sure to check out my video on harvesting and processing wild clay. I'll put the link in the description below. If you're shaping your pots, aim for an even wall thickness. Ideally, this is going to be around 3 to 4 millimeters. If you're just starting out though, this might be a bit thick at first. Practice makes perfect. We're working with rounded pots, so think smooth, rounded shapes. Sharp angles can create stress points when drying, and we really don't want those. And speaking of drying, here's a big one. Your pottery must be bone dry. That means air dried for several days. Depending on the area you live, it may dry quicker, or maybe even weeks, depending on humidity. Any moisture left in that clay will turn to steam in the fire and poof, your precious work could explode. Patience is your best friend here. For fuel, gather plenty of dry wood, twigs, and kindling. Hardwoods like oak or mesquite burn hotter and longer, but use what you've got. You'll also want a few flat stones or broken pottery pieces. These act like stilts during the firing. Sometimes we call it pottery furniture. And of course, safety first. Clear your firing spot and keep water or a fire extinguisher nearby. So, what does a primitive kiln look like? It's actually just a simple, shallow pit, dug about 1 or 2 inches deep, just enough to safely contain the fire and embers while focusing the heat where you need it. For this type of firing, we want a nice oxidizing fire, so we're not going too deep. This step is vital if you don't want your pots to shatter. Start a small fire in your pit and let it burn down into a nice bed of hot coals. Then, place your bone-dry pots around the edge, not in the fire, but close enough to feel the warmth. Let them preheat gently for 30 to 60 minutes. This is going to drive off any lingering moisture and allows the clay to heat up gradually, massively reducing the risk of cracks. You'll want to keep rotating the pots so they warm up evenly. Once your pots are preheated, you're ready for the main firing. Use those stones or sherds from earlier to lift the pots just above the coals. This helps airflow and protects them from direct, intense heat. Space your pots out for even heating. If you want to, larger sherds can be placed as flame shields. We call these cover sherds. But for now, just elevating them is perfect. This is where the transformation happens. We're going for an oxidizing fire, which produces bright, clean surface colors. That means good airflow is really key. Build a teepee of kindling and dry wood over and around your pots. Start small, then add larger pieces. Leave gaps for plenty of airflow. Light it from the base and let it grow steadily. You're aiming for 750 to 800 degrees Celsius. You probably won't have a thermometer, so watch for bright flames and glowing embers. Keep the fire going until it completely burns out. This usually lasts anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. The fire will gradually cool down as it progresses, which leads us to the next phase. Once the fire has burned down to ash, don't remove your pots just yet. Cooling too fast causes thermal shock. Let the pottery cool down right there in the ashes, untouched for an hour or two, or, if you're lucky, overnight would be best. The slower the cool, the better your results. Patience really wins here. When the ashes are finally cool to the touch, it's time for the moment of truth. Carefully unearth your pottery, brush off the ash, and admire what you've created. You might see dark spots or smoky patterns, and these are usually pretty cool, and we call those fire clouds. Look closely. Did a piece crack? That's okay. Was the clay bone dry? Were the walls too thick or uneven? Did the fire burn long enough? Common issues trace back to these steps. With each firing, you'll get better. So there you have it. You've just walked through the entire ancient process. Preparing clay, preheating your pottery, reaching kiln-like temperatures with an open fire, and patiently cooling for success. You don't need a modern kiln, just knowledge, preparation, and a bit of fire. This is more than just a craft. It's a connection to our ancestors and a real-world survival skill anyone can learn. If you found this guide helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Willow's Southwest Studio for more ancient techniques, primitive pottery, and wild hand know-how. And hey, drop a comment below and tell me what you'd like to try firing next. Alright my friends, once again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till next time.